Hi. So today I'm doing the Marvel Makeup Challenge, or Makeup Marvels. There we go, Makeup Marvels Challenge. I was tagged in it by a woman named Clara of Clara's Makeup Diary. She's a friend of mine, and she also tagged another friend of ours, mutual, Allie. So I'm going to link those two videos down below. Now, originally this tag started with someone named Seeking Alexandria, or her channel's named Seeking Alexandria, and a woman named Teresa's Dead also did it, and that's how Clara got the tag. So we're gonna credit everybody. There's no scandals under this belt. Maybe there will be. We'll see how we'll play it by ear. So the first question of this tag. Now, before I get into the questions, let me preface by saying I do not have the same makeup budget as some of these women, and I'm also getting back into makeup after I have 3 children. So, you know, I was into makeup before my first child, and after the children came along, it was hard to balance that life, the personal life, and, you know, the beauty aspect or whatever, and obviously less funds. And then I got back into it, and then I got pregnant again with my 3rd child. My first 2 are back to back. So, but yeah, so a lot of my collection still could stand to grow, and I guess you could take my recommendations with a grain of salt because I operate on a lower budget, so I don't know what those luxury products are like. But I hope that I offer you some kind of perspective. So let's get into the questions. Now, my laptop, of course, went to sleep. Okay, Lady Prime, primer that actually works. So I have never really felt like primers did anything. I watch or follow Robert Welsh, and he says, like, you know, certain skin types obviously need them, more oily skin types, more porous skin types. And I do have textural issues. So a pore filling primer might work. I believe that I've tried a few out there back a long time ago before my skin was mommy skin. So this is a grain of salt, but I've never really felt like anything really helped my skin. Now, what he mentions is that, you know, those pore filling areas, you're only supposed to use in your pore filling areas. And I think I had been using it all over my face and not liking how it looked. And obviously, if you're drier in certain areas, you should use a more moisturizing primer. What I do have is something that I got probably in an Ipsy box. It's the HelloFab Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. Safe for sensitive skin. I don't know if those claims are accurate. I have never broken out, but my skin is not the most sensitive in the world, so I can't say for sure, like, okay, you have sensitive skin, that it's not going to happen, because there's things like coconut, which can be comedogenic for some people. It can give them problems or whatever, and I'm sure there's more things in here. I know that there's a fragrance. So, but now what I will say, when I did try this, I love that there's like a pearl. You're not gonna see this. I don't know why I just did this on my hand. But anyway, there's a pearl look to it. So it's like a moisturizer, but it's very smoothing and hydrating, and it's slippery. And then it dries down, and it has like a sheen or a shine to it. And what I find is that my makeup looks much glowier when I put it on. If you're in that medium range of being sensitive, but like not super sensitive, I would say it would definitely work for you. But yeah, so that's HelloFab. Oh no, First Aid Beauty, I think is what they're called. I don't know why there's so many words on this package. No, that would be my recommendation to them. Okay, next question. Ripe and hype. Makeup that was actually worth it or worth the hype. So, I had a hard time with this because I tend to wait on purchases. Obviously, my budget is a little bit lower, so I really wait and I really save up. I would say worth the hype. That was definitely worth it. See, the thing is though, you really need to have that budget there because it might not be worth it if you don't have that budget. But the Tati Beauty palette, I know it's it's super smudgy and dirty and whatever. And when you look into it, I'm sure my daughter has dug out one of the glitters. Oh, one of the glitters. But honestly, this was a really good investment because, like, if I'm traveling, this would be the palette I would take because it's got my, you know, transition shades. It's got a black shade if I want to do smoky. It's got the glitter if I want to be fun and flirty. It's got a little pop of pink for a little extra color, or it's got those neutral tones if I'm going to, you know, like a business thing or like a funeral or something where I want to keep it toned down. So, and just the quality of her shadows, the quality and texture of her mattes alone. The satin, I mean, not the satin, it's like, what is that called? I forget what the term she uses for it. The one that's matte that has the shimmer in it. Those are, they can be nice, but I don't really reach for them. But in general, this palette is super, super helpful, especially for beginners. So if you have a little bit of money to invest and you want just something basic to start off with, it is pigmented, so you're gonna have to learn to go light-handed, but because they blend so well, as long as you're blending, it'll be fine. So that was that. The Late Bloomer, a product you waited to try and then wished you would have tried sooner. So again, with those things, it's like I do wait a long time for things. And a lot of times I just don't buy them. The one thing that I did wait a long time for was the Jackie Aina palette, because when I first saw it, I was like, ooh, I love this. But then I was like, well, I've heard things about ABH, like I know the Subculture palette and one of the other ones had like a consistency issue. And then I don't necessarily support Norvina or what she's doing, but we're not really gonna get into the whatever. But then I just kept coming back to how beautiful the shadows looked. And she really did an excellent job in picking those shadows. Now, some of the colors are a little bit harder for me to work with in terms of what they were originally used for versus what I have to use them for. So like if I'm using this palette, I probably will need to draw a transition shade from somewhere else, because the transition shade in here, which would be ginger, would be perfect for a darker skinned woman, but for me it's way too dark. So I would need to draw a transition shade from like the Tati palette, for example, and then use that to build up that crease. Use the ginger to build up the crease. So it's fine, but it's not a standalone palette, but it is beautiful. It is exquisite. This color, Trust Issues, I remember all of the drama surrounding this color because they were like, oh, Trust Issues and it's white or whatever. But it's not white, as you can see, and it is, okay, story time. There was back in the day, L'Oreal had HIP pigments, high intensity pigments is what it stood for. And there was one that was white that had a yellow transition or duochrome to it. And it was beautiful. It was perfect for an inner corner highlight, and I think my cat knocked it over on the floor and it was gone, and they discontinued the HIP line. So I have forever been on the search for this shade, and honestly, Trust Issues is that girl. Trust Issues is that girl. So I definitely recommend the Jackie Aina palette. Get your hands on it. Okay, let me preface that. Get your hands on it if you'd like a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of soft glam, and something that you can incorporate into your day-to-day, but not being overly colorful, because it's not for the color lover, I don't think. Okay. I keep bending over. Tentative Tingles palette you were on the fence about. Oh no, wait, no. Yeah. palette you were on the fence about, but now are obsessed with. I didn't think about this. Why did I miss this one? On the fence about, but now I'm obsessed with. When I first bought that Tati palette, I was like, it's beautiful, but is it really worth the $54 I think I paid for it? But I'll choose a different palette. So my ColourPop Lucky, I don't know what it's called. I don't have it here with me right now. It's in my closet, and I wouldn't show it to you anyway because my daughter has dug her fingers through it. Which is probably exactly why I didn't really open the Jackie Aina. Well, yeah, I didn't open the Jackie Aina palette because she dug her fingers into it, which is my fault. So, but the Lucky one, so the green one. At first, when I bought it, I was super excited because I could do a Jamaica look, and my husband is Jamaican, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do Jamaican colors. He didn't notice. But I just wanted a little more color into my routine anyway, and the palette is $12. Like ColourPop monochromatic palettes are $12, so not even a big deal. So when I first bought it, I did the Jamaica look, and then afterwards I was like, what am I gonna do with this palette? Greens don't particularly, my eyes are green, so greens don't particularly look that great on me, and I have a warmer skin tone or like a rosier undertone, so it kind of clashes with the green for me. So for a while, I was like really not sure what to do with it. But then slowly, I think with the more products that I incorporated into my collection, I started reaching for it more. And there's one mint tone. I guess you could just buy the mint palette that they have too. But the one mint tone that's in there, I am obsessed with. And I can pair that underneath JD Glow Cosmetics, I can't think of what they're called, the shadows that are like really damn out of control. I can't think of it right now. But yeah, I'm obsessed with the monochromatic palettes. At first I was like, because they're not full palettes unto themselves, I think too is part of the problem. You still need a transition color, but they are pretty damn pigmented for only being $12. So yeah, that's ColourPop monochromatic palettes. There we go. And then Game Changer product that has changed how I do my makeup or part of my routine. So it's a little early to tell. I just bought the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer on Smoky Glow's recommendation. I was at Target and I happened to see it, and I was like, she was raving about it. And I haven't found that amazing blow you out of the park concealer yet. And so I was like, okay, let me try it. It's only $6. So I got it home and I was, thinking like, okay, this is gonna be as bad as the other one, because I think I did try the regular Camo Concealer. It was super drying. So I took it home and I used it and I was like, oh God, there's too much product. Okay, so I just dabbed straight away, and then like, look how much coverage there is. Literally my whole base today. I know it's too light for me. I am working around that by contouring the rest of the areas, but for right now it'll just have to do because I'm not going back to Target anytime soon. But yeah, so it is pretty damn opaque, and for a concealer, it's super hydrating and soft, and it feels good on your skin. It doesn't cling to the bad spots, but then it also blends really nicely, and it doesn't dry down immediately. Like, I feel like it does dry down, but not where it looks cakey and dry. So that's new. We'll cross our fingers on that. That's one of them. And then I guess the second one would be my CoverGirl Microfine Eyebrow Pencil. I don't know why I'm looking up there. It's not going to tell me anything about this pencil. So this was a recommendation from Christy, Raw Beauty Christy, and she said it was like a really affordable eyebrow pencil, and she used it in a lot of videos. And I said, well, L'Oreal was like $10, but the stick that was inside of it was really short, so I was buying it like every 2 weeks, which is crazy. And so I really couldn't afford to play around with my brows and really define the shape. But the CoverGirl is just as nice, if not better. It has a better color range. The L'Oreal doesn't have a very good color range. So it's just as nice as the L'Oreal in terms of, like, you know, not too glidey and not too drying. And it makes those nice fine lines, and it's really helped to build my face. So because it's so much cheaper, I can afford to play around and find my perfect shape. And I think that's one thing that a lot of girls really need in their routine, is to find a nice brow shape. Because honestly, if I'm not feeling cute, if I don't have any makeup on, and I'm just feeling in a rut, the one thing that can perk my face up in a way is just putting eyebrows on. Like, sometimes when I leave the house, I'll just put eyebrows on. I won't even bother with mascara all the time. Most of the time I will, but like, excuse me, not all the time. Sometimes I'm just in such a rush. I'm like, okay, let me build these brows and go, because it just makes my face just feel more put together. I don't know. There's just something about a good brow that I think is very underrated. And I hate brows, but like, because they're not fun or anything, but they are so important. So that would be my second thing that was a game changer, which is not a part of a next question, because my third game changer would also be what the answer to another question is. And then, yeah, so like, my recommendation for moms who just don't have the time but just want like a really, like, they just want to look less tired, I would recommend the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Hydrating Camo Concealer, not the regular one. The CoverGirl Eyebrow Pencil, and Lady Lash mascara that actually looks like that bitch on the box. So I don't know what the bitch on the box looks like wearing this. This was a recommendation from Tati Beauty. I swear I don't buy only things recommended by YouTubers, but yeah, it helps. So this is the Collab Beauty mascara, the Works Wow Effect all-in-one mascara in extreme black. This is my holy grail mascara. I love Lash Paradise. I have the Lash Paradise primer on with a white shadow on top because of this look that I did. But Lash Paradise is flaky, and for sensitive eye users and for contact users, that just doesn't work. It's not as flaky as some other formulas that I've used. Some are just completely unusable, but it's not entirely comfortable if you're wearing contacts and then it starts to flake after a couple hours. So this one doesn't flake unless maybe it's been like 2 days. Truth bomb on how often moms take makeup off. That's probably another part of this video that should have been covered, but yeah, skincare is super important. Taking your makeup off is a super important part of your routine, and I'm using Curology right now. So like I said, investing in a good, like if you have acne like I do, investing in a good treatment and a good moisturizer, those are also things that are really going to help you. But yeah, so Lazy Moms Hydrating Camo Concealer, Wow Effects Mascara, CoverGirl Microfine Brow Pencil, and my color is Soft Honey. Soft Honey or Soft Brown? No, this one's soft brown. Sorry, soft brown. Just wear these and you can go out and people will not ask you why you look so tired. That's the number one thing as a mom. Okay, so this video is way too long, and so let me speed this up. Okay, Shine and Dine gloss that's shiny but not sticky. I don't know her. Right now I have just like a Vaseline type product. It's Hanalei lip treatment in clear. It's a lip treatment and I put it over top to give it a little shine so that it's not sticky. I haven't really branched out in the realm of not sticky glosses or glosses in general because I don't like that feeling. Like even this is not sticky, but because my hair is long, I don't know. I give up that struggle a long time ago, but I'm open to explore new things. Watch me get super close to the camera and be awkward and stupid. So let's just skip to the next question. The last question is anti-caking agent. The anti-cake. So I don't use translucent setting powders. Every time I've used one, they just haven't done anything for me. They've been super white and they haven't really done anything for me. So I always use something with a tint to it. And I used Physicians Formula for a while. I haven't bought any high-end powders like Laura Mercier or the Lancome or whatever. But what I do really like, which I bought because I had seen it in the store, and I came home that day and I was watching a Jackie Aina video and she mentioned it. Now, I don't know if she's sponsored with Maybelline or what, or how long she's been using it, because I haven't followed Jackie Aina. I think last year is when I started following her. So, yeah. But the Fit Me Maybelline Loose Finishing Powder, I've worked at... No. I've worked someplace where they sold it. Where they sold Fit Me, but they only had the pressed powder, and I have had the pressed powder in the past, but the pressed powder does cake because I guess it's less finely milled or something. It's supposed to provide more coverage, so it does cake. This, I have it on right now. I looked a little bit oily after momming. I did this look a little while, like a few hours ago, so after some intensive momming, I was a little bit oily. I was laying in the bed, so I was probably rubbing my head. But yeah, so I applied this and it took the shine down, no caking. It doesn't cake as long as you don't use a tremendous amount. But that's the Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. Right now, as I have a tan, I'm 15, but normally I'm 5. But I use 5 in my highlighted areas, and then I use 15 in everywhere else. So everywhere else that needs it. But yeah, so that was my video, and hopefully this sees the light of day and I don't trash it and feel weird about it, and hopefully there's not a big booger hanging out of my nose, and hopefully there's not something that I notice on my teeth, because then you're never gonna see this, and we'll see. Go easy on me. I will have linked all of the ladies that have come before me in terms of my knowledge, who did this Makeup Marvel tag, and I hope that helped some of you. All right, thank you. Bye.